Hi everyone, it's psychic medium medical intuitive Jojo Empathic here. And in today's video, I want to answer a question that was in a comment box from one of my previous videos regarding insomnia. So insomnia can be a number of different things. You always want to consult with your medical professional first. I'm going to break down in this video more of the spiritual causes to insomnia. Whenever I see insomnia, automatically I'm usually seeing paranormal activity. So within the chakras, if we have insomnia, this is a matter of an imbalanced heart and an imbalanced third eye, as well as your crown is also going to be imbalanced. Your crown in the physical body is tied to your pituitary gland. Your third eye in the physical body is tied to your pineal gland. And your heart chakra in the physical body is tied to your heart and your lungs, as well as your immune system. So symbolically, when we have insomnia, besides for paranormal activity, this is the root that will attract paranormal activity. You have a lot on your heart. You may have a lot on your mind. There's a lot of unresolved wounds that we are attaching our identity to that are causing a disturbance of our peace. A disturbance within our heart to be settled and present and to go into rest. A disturbance so much on the mind that we can't let go, that my mind can't be still and rest. And this, of course, is going to attract in paranormal activity. Why does paranormal activity like to affect our sleep? Well, that's when you recoup. You rejuvenate, you rest, and you heal when you go to sleep. So it's super important that you have a peaceful rest in order for you to have a successful day, a better mood, to think clear, to heal when we need to heal, to have that peace and a focused concentration. So your sleep is super important, and we often will see paranormal activity attack it. Okay, so I said there's something on your heart if you have insomnia that you may need to express. We have to understand that society shapes and molds us into being almost like in a victim mindset, waiting for a savior. With this mindset, which is tied to a herd mentality, so a lot of us feel this way, what ends up happening is we identify with our wounds. I'll give you an example, and I'll try to be sensitive. A lot of times women will identify as being a rape victim. A lot of times we as adults will identify as being an adult that went through childhood abuse. We allow our traumas and our wounds to give us an identity. We have to understand, if we look at 20 people in a line, regardless of where you are in the world, regardless of the socioeconomic systems, that are in place, whether we're in a place where there's more happiness versus a place where there's more depression, everybody in that line has gone through some sort of trauma or wound. Everyone. We all have a lot of things that have hurt us in our life. That we all have a lot of, instances that put pressure on us, that stress us out, that are shocking, that are painful. So we have to learn and get better at understanding the society pushes us into identifying with these traumas, and our freedom comes from the detachment from the trauma, understanding that we may have chosen to go through certain instances to strengthen us, to help us evolve, to help us to actually connect with other people, because we can relate now with others through our pain, through our suffering. So when you're able to kind of put events that happen to you behind you, and you're able to evolve your consciousness from certain traumatic events, you will feel a weight off your shoulders, symbolically off your heart chakra, and a weight off your mind, symbolically off of the third eye chakra and your mental thinking. So we need to express something. We need to resolve something. We need to have conversations. We need to see a therapist, a counselor. We need to do shadow work. Okay, because within the third eye, there's something you're ignoring, or there's something that you're not seeing. So a dark part of yourself, there's shadow within your mind that you need to shine a light on. And that's what we call a need for shadow work. So once you you are able to shine the light on the parts of your mind, your ego, your subconscious that you've been ignoring or not seeing for whatever reason, you're going to have a weight lifted off of the mind. You're going to have more of an integration. So a lot of times with shadow work, it mirrors with soul integration and parts work. We feel more complete. We're able to rest a lot easier once we feel this sense of completion and wholeness. And that'll also help you to be able to be more grounded. If you're not able to get grounded, this could be because of all of this psychic weight and psychic debris in the mind and in the heart. So that brings me to my next point. If you are struggling with insomnia symbolically and spiritually, you could be holding on to a lot of psychic weight, psychic debris, psychic junk, psychic trash, whatever you want to call it. It's psychic free radicals. It's energy. It's the thoughts, the thought forms. This could even be spiritual parasites. A lot of times will keep us in this looped way of thinking. And it gets even more intense a lot of times if we hold on to a lot of psychic weight. It brings our resonance, our frequency down here, which opens the door to paranormal activity. So a lot of times insomnia is a symbol of possession and spirit attachment. Of course, spirit attachment comes first. If it's chronic, it moves within the body and turns into a possession, which is very common. Something on my channel I work to do is to normalize this so that we can all help ourselves and heal ourselves. A lot of times my clients are running from the church and the pastors are telling people to just ignore it, which is not the way. Or we go into these hateful exorcisms, which are casting people's grandparents and loved ones that are attached to them in hell. Hell doesn't transform them. And then they're going from this person to the next. So we don't do that. You have to look at each part of you that is heavy, that is shadow. You have to look at these attachments, these possessions, and nobody can clear you but you. I don't know if you know that. So this is why in my spiritual clearing package, I first start with a paranormal consultation that gives you everything you need to know in order to help yourself. That tells you how this happened, what emotional state you're staying in to keep this attachment. I walk you through how to release it, how to clear yourself, your pets, your family, your kids, your home. And then the second part of my spiritual clearing is I actually walk you through a meditation where you scan your body and I help walk you through releasing the attachment. So nobody can clear you but you. That's a myth that the church likes to get away with. So your attachments will irritate you as you sleep. You will have nightmares sensing that they're in the room. A lot of times people will feel touching, hair pulling, scratching, hearing knocking. These are all things you don't want to let linger. One of the things I can't stand is when someone comes in and reaches out for a spiritual clearing and they don't book. They just let it linger and they bring me into their gunk. This is something we want to take care of right away. Okay, we don't want to let this linger because spirit attachments and possessions are actually quite dangerous. Okay, if you go insomnia for days, what kind of state are you in? Delusion, usually. You're not well, you're not rested, you can't think clearly. Usually other parts of you are running you, your ego, unresolved wounded parts of you, your inner child's running you. And usually if we're dealing with a haunting, there could be another spirit running your vessel. So we want to deal with spirit attachments and possessions ASAP. So one of the ways you usually know, in a sense, if there's something looming near you, that it's not a spirit guide, it's not light, it's dark. This can also influence paranoid thinking. So you want to clear your bed. Your bed is like a portal. Usually when I scan people's homes remotely, I'm seeing the bed like a big portal. If you've never cleared your bed or your furniture or your space, a lot of that psychic debris begins to form a spiral portal. And depending on what you're rooting that portal in, let's say a bed where you are in pain and you're in rumination and you're not sleeping good and you're irritated, it's a portal of pain, it's a portal of irritation. And that is not somewhere that you want to have your restful sleep. So you need to clear your bed. You can use sage, you can use sweet grass, you can use rosemary, you could get a salt lamp. Really, you want to clear it from your mind just through like a prayer or sending healing into the bed, maybe getting new sheets, new pillows, new mattress. any of that. I also recommend crystal gridding your space, your room, especially when you sleep. This will help you to keep the paranormal activity away as well and help to facilitate a more peaceful space where no one is interrupting you. If you're also dealing with insomnia, you may need to keep all pets out of the room while you sleep or other people. You don't want anyone else's energy field interfering with your peaceful time to sleep. And energetically, I will also say that you may need to connect your crown with your third eye. Usually I'll see a disconnect between these two. In the physical body, your pineal gland does influence melatonin. It is tied to your cycles. It reacts with light and darkness, the pineal gland. So your waking hours, you're awakened symbolically, and when you sleep, when you're in more of the dream state, which is a very real reality for us. You need to balance this energetically. So get a Reiki session, get an energy healing session, learn how to do this yourself with your own hands, with your own mind. There's so many meditations you can use to help to connect the crown properly with your third eye. So let's switch over to the physical body a bit, okay? Because we don't want to ignore that there could be something physically off. And again, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe or diagnose. Biologically, again, this is your heart and your brain. So if you are dealing with insomnia, obviously you want to stop with the caffeine. It may be time to slow down with that. Also, if you have insomnia, energy drinks are really horrible for you. You should just avoid them at all costs. It's like poison, and it's too much for the heart and the mind. So lay off that. Stress is huge for the adrenal glands, for the pituitary glands. So you can have this imbalance due to you holding on to a ton of stress. So you need to have effective and healthy coping mechanisms for your emotional health, your mental health, and how you're dealing with stress. Okay. And you may have an excessive arousal due to a chronic flight or fight state too. So we need to learn how to manage that effectively. So all of these things, and I'll conclude by saying within the physical body, a lot of heavy metals will influence your mind's eye, and that will influence your cycles. You might be on artificial hormones, which influence your body's cycles. You might be eating a lot of processed foods, which influence your natural cycles. You might not be getting enough sunlight, which influences your natural cycles. You might be getting too much fluorescent light, okay? That might be influencing your cycles. So I think ultimately, you need to learn your medical intuitive abilities. You need to learn how to scan yourself, connect with your spirit for answers and guidance. You need to be able to connect with your cells, your organs, your systems, your spirit guides, your angels for help. Connect with God, and you will find the answers. And then there is that next part of empowered choice to make some changes in your life. So again, my name is JoJo Empathic from jojoempathic.com. I'm a medical intuitive. I help people with energy healing, clearing, and intuitive connection. So if maybe you're struggling with insomnia, maybe you want to book a reading with me, energy healing, or learn how to tap into your intuitive intelligence yourself by booking a spiritual development session with me. I'd love to meet with you. Please like this video, drop a comment on maybe something that you're going through, and I'll make a video on it that may help others as well. Love to hear from you, and subscribe for more content. Thank you.